Good morning, campers. We're gonna do today for a divine collective, we're gonna do healing, mission, connection. You know how I always say there are three pillars to conquer on this journey. We conquer them differently. Sometimes we forget about one. Many feminists, you know how I always say that many feminists focus on healing, focus on the mission. They forget to actually heal the connection. They think that they have to block it. I don't want it, which is not getting you anywhere near even inner union. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do healing, we're gonna do mission, and we're gonna do connection. I feel like I want to focus a little bit more on connection for this collective, but before I just quickly to confirm this is your collective, we're gonna see how you're feeling. So if this part doesn't resonate, it's not your reading. This part has to resonate. Take a deep breath, think about how are you really feeling right now, where you are. How are you feeling this collective? Surrender, that's nice. Success. Okay, we have surrender, success, we have sadness, and we have fear. I'm sort of seeing these in like pairs. I'm seeing this, maybe there's a reason I was guided for this collective to do these three things, and there's a reason I already started right off the bat saying that sometimes we conquer some of the elements of the journey and we struggle to conquer others, because we have surrender and we have success. So I feel like this goes, and again, there's a reason I said I want to focus on your connection, because I feel that maybe this collective, when it comes to your healing, when it comes to your mission, you are in a state of surrendering. You are in a state of, there is an element of success. I want to do another row in a moment. So maybe you find that you've done a lot of healing at this point, that you've changed and transformed as a person. Maybe you already connect to your craft. We're going to tap into that in a moment. Surrendering to the journey, surrendering to the path. But I feel this fear and this sadness, it's about the connection. It's about the connection. So maybe recently you've been sitting in a place of a little bit of doubt, a little bit of fear. Is this going to come? Or maybe you've been a little nostalgic about your person. Is it going to ever come to fruition? We are sitting, you guys know I talk about this a lot. I've talked about this a lot in a recent in my recent videos, that we are sitting in a, the window of opportunity between 10th of the 10th and 11th of the 11th, and we are being tested and we are being guided to let go of certain whether that's behavioral patterns or thinking patterns, limiting beliefs, depending where you are on a journey. So maybe they are testing you emotionally a little bit, to test your faith, to test your belief, to expand your consciousness. Let me clarify with another row. Surrender. This may be a long reading. I just came to my mind. Flow, which is a confirmation. You go, there's a part of you on this journey, don't make this fit, that you would go with the flow, you would surrender. I feel this is more when it comes to your healing. So in the beginning of this journey, we have this moment of like, we have to heal everything, we have to go do it now, we really like dedicate ourselves to the journey. But at one point we just understand that certain things have to happen, like first some things have to happen first, then other things have to happen, and we just surrender to the flow of life, to how things are being revealed to us, how next doors are being revealed to us. Anxiety, sadness, growth, this is nice, and that fear, mystery, and consciousness. Again, I feel like this collective, you are they wanting to expand your consciousness. They really wanting you to let go of certain things, to be able to, starting 11th of the 11th, to really enter a new stage and a new level of the journey. There is a lot of surrendering, there's a lot of going with the flow, there's a lot of growth. They seeing your success and your progress on a journey. I feel maybe recently you've had a bit of anxiety. I'm hearing about your path and about your future. your mission. But I am sensing that you're managing this quite well. Whereas I am a little bit more, I don't want to say concerned, it's too much said, but I feel there's a little bit of fear and sadness when it comes to your person. But I also feel like you're growing through this, like you're conquering this, like you're growing through this, accepting that there are some mysteries. And you guys know that I always say this to you. Even those divine feminines that become seers and mediums, we see things for others, but not for ourselves. Our journey, our own timeline is always hidden for us, and for good reason, right? And for a good reason. So maybe you're trying to surrender to this unknown, to the fact that you're never gonna know, and it doesn't really matter, and it's okay. But I feel like there may be a little bit of fear and a little bit of sadness, nostalgia I'm hearing as well. All right, let's start from your healing. Where you are. I don't normally shuffle, but these are starting to like go to the other direction. 5 of Swords. So I'm just gonna shuffle. Hold on. Patience. We're gonna start from, see, I can't even, these cards are weird. I love them when it comes to the design, but the cards themselves, they're very weird. Not the biggest fan. And I just bought them, so it's another reason. Okay. All right. Healing. What's the condition of your soul? Where are you on your healing journey? The devil. But I've heard, you know what I've heard? The devil lost as he always must. The devil. I feel this collective, you are really understanding, because you know what came to my mind? He's playing a violin, and then we have these two beautiful ladies dressed in white and in dark. It's a really beautiful card. I feel like this collective, you would know that your shadows are not to be feared, are not to be demonized, that they are you. That in a journey of healing, in a journey of shadow work, we're supposed to get acquainted with our shadows. We're supposed to dance with our shadows. We're supposed to have tea with our shadows, accept our shadows as they are part of us. It's like you no longer fear the devil. You no longer fear. It's a beautiful part of the journey, not just internally, but when we externally realize, maybe it came to you recently because it's coming to my mind, that life is truly neutral. There is no good and evil. It's an illusion of a physical world. From a level of soul, and it's this expansion of your consciousness. So maybe you've had some moments when you've been thinking about, you know, I hear many people talk online about, and those people who have that mentality, if God existed, he wouldn't allow these bad things to happen, and all the atrocities and wars and injustice. You guys, it's a sandbox game. And it's so hard for some people to hear. But when you reach a level of consciousness high enough, you're really truly walking a journey. When you were meant to reach Christ consciousness in this lifetime, you expand your consciousness enough to understand this is just a sandbox game. And the purpose is to grow and expand and to learn. And so if these things are happening, they must serve a purpose for these souls that are in these situations to grow and expand. I'm hearing that you're starting to understand that there is no good and evil. Very beautiful. I went like really deep from your very first card. But we have the moon. So usually, you guys, when we have the moon and we have the devil, right? It's usually not the nicest energy right? Because combined, it really means the world of shadow, the world of darkness, the world of contemplation on the shadow and on the darkness. Maybe you have been contemplating on the shadow and the darkness. They both these cards have full moon. We just had a beautiful full that was not just energetically beautiful, but also literally the moon. Was it a, how they call it when it's so close to Earth that it really appears huge? And it was, I've seen it yesterday, and I was talking to you guys about this on my stories. It was exactly this color, like this golden, a little bit of like rose gold color. Maybe you've seen the moon, maybe you've stopped to appreciate the moon, maybe that's a sign. But so these cards are usually heavy cards, but I feel like you really, there's a moment of contemplation for this collective, expansion of consciousness. There is no duality, there is no black and white, there is no good and evil, you know. It really requires a lot of healing and a lot of a high level consciousness to know that, to comprehend that. People really tend to focus on bad things that happen in this world, to find reason, to find logic. And it's okay, it has to be that way for people to want to walk towards the side of good. But that's walking towards the side of good is not the final level of consciousness. It's not Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is understanding that it's a sandbox game. There is no good and evil, right? Surrender to the moon as well, I'm hearing. I feel like this is going to be very interesting reading. Oh, too many. I want two more for your first row. All right. We have the Tower. You guys, you have some really intense energy. I'm hearing a powerful ascension, but you know what? I'm going to tell you in a moment. Three of Swords. Normally, this is a literally a proof what I always say to you guys. People who are not awakened channels should not touch cards, because a person who only learned the meanings of cards is going to see Devil, Moon, Tower, and Three of Swords. Oh my God, disaster. But when you're a channel, this is just something that activates you to hear, see things, to get visions, and to connect to the energy of the collective. So it's a powerful energy, but I feel like you went through a very powerful ascension. But this is in the beginning, when we go through ascensions on a journey of healing and a journey of spirituality, right? The Magician at the bottom of the deck. We know exactly when it's happening, because these ascensions in the first years are brutal. We receive downloads of information that we don't necessarily understand. Our mind cannot comprehend the knowledge and the visions that we're seeing. We cannot make sense, and we want to make sense because we're still a little bit in that ego mind, right? And they're very intense, they're very powerful. Some ascensions are moments when you really want to go back home. You don't want to move on and continue as this human being, and they're brutal. They can be very brutal. But as you reach certain level of growth, again, consciousness, they just upgrades, and you go through them, you do realize, but it no longer gets you out of your center, out of your routine, right? So I feel like with this Tower, something must have happened that pushed you when it comes to your healing to have this contemplation. I feel it's more about the darkness of this world, about the darkness of human beings as well. But it would maybe something. There's a reason I also mentioned that many people, they don't have the level of consciousness to understand what I'm talking about. But if you're still here, it's for a reason. And many things break your heart. Things that happen to people, to animals in this world, to things in how this world looks like, it breaks your heart. And obviously on a daily basis, we all like, we distinguish. We are in this physical world, so we distinguish good and evil. But again, you reach a level of consciousness when you understand everything happens for a reason, and it's just a sandbox game. It's really okay. It's really temporary. It's not eternal. Pain is liberating. Pain is what cleanses our souls here on this earth, right? And I feel that I'm really going, it feels like very specific, but I feel like there are things that in the past will cause a heartbreak within you, but you reach a level of healing when you're just starting to dance with the darkness. You're starting to really understand. Maybe you've even, listen to a conversation of other people who constantly complain and how this world looks like. And it's funny that people don't understand that it's to fix this world, it's nothing that you have to do as an activist or something. It's all beautiful, but in the end you have to change yourself, and through that change become part of the shift. All right, really nice. Let's do another row. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. I want to do all four. Three of Wands. Two of Cups. Okay. This was your second one. I'm sensing it's a milestone on your journey of healing, to be honest. On a journey of understanding not just your darkness, but the darkness of this world, but also your subconscious mind. I'm hearing a dream, so maybe you had a dream as well about something that helped you understand certain concept. I'm hearing as well, it may be a detail for some of you, but maybe dreams are a thing for you. It's not always, I think I've mentioned this to you guys many times, because I sometimes hear nonsense online, people saying that all spiritual people have prophetic dreams, or all that. There was this lady years ago, I think I've seen her say, divine feminine on a twin flame journey, saying that all divine feminines have prophetic dreams. It's not true. It's nonsense. We're all different. We're all different. It's just like people have such a small understanding of being an open channel and being awakened, that they think that we're all same, right? It's just like those people that tell you, oh, you're a psychic, give me lottery numbers. What are you talking about? It's like expecting I don't know, a gynecologist to be able to perform a surgery on an open heart. Like a doctor is not a doctor for everything, right? It's same with us. We have different types of missions and gifts and visions. So not every person who's spiritual, like I dream every night, I remember those dreams, but I don't have prophetic dreams. I have visions in my stage of awakening. I see things that will happen, but I don't dream about them, right? My dreams serve a completely different purpose, and there's a reason it's coming to my mind. So maybe dreams are a thing for you. Maybe you've been thinking or talking even to someone about dreams recently, to really dive deeper into things that you're dreaming about. Dreams are always important, but they serve a completely different purpose to each of us. There's something about a subconscious mind as well. So I feel like you've understood yourself better. We're talking about your healing journey here. And it would have been, I don't know why I'm hearing 4. So 4 as in 4 years. 4 of Wands as well. I feel like you are, this collective, really close to you would maybe be approaching that end of the bridge. You know how I always talk about these 3 stages of healing, that moment of more stability and security when it comes to knowing who you are, understanding the mysteries of life, the mysteries of but it would have been a long journey for you, this collective. Minimum 4 years. I'm hearing. So don't make this fit. It would have been minimum 4 years since you awakened, since you got activated. And it's like now you're understanding. It's again, when we expand our consciousness, we start to understand certain things differently. We start to realize that it all matters, but nothing really does, right? We get complete different visual of the meaning of life. And we start to understand that this is why it took so long. In all seriousness, you guys, yes, I've seen also, these statements online saying that the fact that it's a journey, it's because the change is just a decision, you can do it now, right? But if at the end, if you are truly spiritual, right, at the end of your journey of awakening, things that you know, things that you understand, if you understood and knew all this, it was downloaded into your mind in one ascension, one download, truly it could cause madness in many people. We have this physical body, we have this human body, we have this human mind, programmed mind. This is why it takes so long to reset it. I feel like you now understand that you've always been guided, that you've always been, that there's a reason. And when you doubted, maybe there was a reason it lasts so long. I'm hearing approaching moment of true peace. And we have 2 of Cups on top of that, those 3 of Swords. I'm hearing 2 things with this. Again, we have a lady in white and a lady in black, which is the duality of this world. And we've mentioned this, that you're starting to sort of understand that there is no duality. It is in the physical world, but there's a level of consciousness that goes above the physical world, right? But I was also hearing soul connections, that you're understanding better, right? On this channel, if you watch me, you know that I talk a lot and I teach people to distinguish soulmates, twin souls, karmic connections, karmic catalysts, soul contracts. They're on a level of soul, they're on a level of lesson, they're on a level of person. I feel like you're gaining more understanding. And remember what I said, that you things that used to break your heart, that you've expanded your consciousness enough and you've healed enough that they no longer break your heart. I feel this also goes to people, to relationships. So it's like people no longer, it's a beautiful moment on our journey, you guys. That's why I said this collective, you would have been for quite a while on this journey, on a journey of healing. It's this moment when people no longer disappoint you. Why? In order to disappoint someone, when we're disappointed, it's because we had expectations. Okay? There's no other way. When we're disappointed, it's because we had expectations. And if we have expectations, it means that we're still on some level, on the level of ego, because expectations come from a place of ego. Soul doesn't have expectations. Soul allows others to be just the way they are, just the way that you can choose to participate or not, right? But there are no expectations ever. No assumptions, no expectations. And I feel that's one thing. Right? It's like you understand now that you cannot have expectations. You have to accept people for what they are. But I feel like you've also healed enough, because when we heal, this is what I always say, when we heal ourselves, through the journey of healing, we gain understanding of human nature, of how humans operate, how those beautiful beings that are blend of a soul and the physical human earth body, how they operate. So it's like when you reach a level of understanding human beings, nothing can disappoint you, because you have a level of compassion. You can distinguish that in this world, in the physical world, this can be perceived as good or evil, right? It's not like the line disappears, but you are conscious enough to know that it doesn't really matter, right? The journey of this person is not your journey, is not for you to judge, for you to comprehend, for you to, right? It's like you become the observer of human beings. This is a really beautiful and mature collective. I feel like you would be in a very beautiful moment of your journey. You're really very soon gonna find that real peace. That real peace. All right. Let's maybe tap into your path. I want to do a couple of D's. What's going on when it comes to your path and your purpose, and then maybe we're going to do tarot on top of that. I'm going to do 4. Go into the void. Release expectations. Yes. Spirit knows I love when he does that. I got the power. I'm just kidding. I'm humble. But I don't even need cards. You guys. All right. One more. Beautiful cards we have. All right. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I feel like I will need explanation for this one, Spirit. Okay, we have Go Into the Void, number 64. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. And to be honest, everything that we said when it comes to your healing journey, it means that you have been to the void. The power of true divine feminine, right? I always say this to you guys. We sit on a portal to the void, to the spirit realm, which is our womb. Every woman has a capacity to tap into that magic. You don't necessarily have to be what we call, a psychic, a witch. It's part of just the awakening, right? We have the capacity to travel back and forth to the void where there's nothing and where there's everything. And the knowledge from the void allows us to feel into everything that I've explained to you from your energy, this understanding that this world is truly neutral. It's just a sandbox game, one of many. Illusion of a physical world created for our soul, for source to expand. Maybe you have been doing recently some travels to the void meditation, really sitting in stillness, sitting in that void. Sometimes we return to the physical world, but we have periods of time when we're constantly connected to the void. It's our choice whether we connect and disconnect or we stay connected. It's also part of my candles going crazy. Part of the path, but maybe part of your journey, because we're doing your path, is to guide people through that void, is to hold space to others, to visit the void where the answers reside. It's where we release the physical body, right? I want to read through this to you. We are the gatekeepers, a sacred portal through which all life comes to earth from spirit realm. Through this portal, we have access to the void, the source, the divine knowledge. This is where all that exists is, where all the answers reside. This card is your invitation to embrace this gift and learn to use your sacred portal to venture to the void. Be gentle. This may be a very intense experience. Start from connecting to your womb. Learn to listen and to protect it. Once you are ready, you can reach beyond to request guidance, information, or connect to past lifetimes. This powerful practice will help you to remain in a state of oneness with the universe. Maybe part of your mission is to help people to understand, people who struggle to understand the pain of this world, the darkness of this world. Find peace, I'm hearing as well. There's something with peace, find peace. We have release expectations as well. So it's definitely something that happened to you, this collective. And I feel like it was a puzzle piece, not just for your healing journey, but also for your journey of your path and self-discovery. And we have activation and proud newbie. I'm hearing that this may be something that hasn't happened yet for some of you, but I feel this collective, you are now, whether it's already started or not, going through an activation of a new gift, of a new This I always say to you guys, just release and surrender. You never know when will be the moment. It can be years on this journey and a new thing will come through. Because with this newbie, it's like you will feel like this is new. I'm hearing Akashic records as well. I'm hearing Akashic records as well.